to brag on the committee of 100. And then we'll we'll bring Daryl to explain a little bit more about the bill. And then finally, we'll close with Susan. But before we do that, we have a short video, right, that we want to play. And so I'd like to bring up one of those new leaders, Ben Borlaug.
Thank you, Governor. Yeah, I got tasked as soon as he won a little early, I think, than anybody thought, which was awesome. But then right away we jumped into what can we do to make the state better, and it was nice to for Jeff right away to stake in the ground that we open for business. We got a lot of business people involved in this transition committee, and really the evolution in the time that it took. Really it's exciting to be here today and do that. Working with Adam, working with Mandy, and now Susan leading where we are today. I'm excited. I have a big stake in Louisiana. My family's been in business now almost 80 years. Hard to imagine that. We want to continue to grow in Louisiana. We have opportunities to go outside, and we see the ability and the way other states approach economic development. And it has been a little, I'm gonna say, embarrassing to a degree of where we've been the last few decades. But I've never been more excited to be a part of Louisiana. We molding really in front of our eyes today where we're going to head. And I think we're going to be from a ground level standpoint. We have the ability to build something I think that no other state has done before. The governor mentioned how we looked at other states. We looked at the pros and the cons. We figured out what we think could be the best model for Louisiana, and that's what we're trying to really get us to, in my opinion, be the forefront of where the state of Louisiana could be for our nation and the world. He mentioned the world. We have the ability to be a world-class economic development, thriving, mechanism for our state and really the whole world. And I'm just excited. I think we have the Cajun ingenuity to grow our workforce, really develop from Shreveport all the way down to New Orleans and out to Lake Charles and in the bayous, Baton Rouge, everywhere. We all offer some unique opportunities. What Susan has done in a short time period, I think is very exciting. Really working the state and working outside of the state and trying to bring not only new business in, but taking care of businesses that are here. All of these things are important. We need more businesses internally to continue to support. This is not a great paying job for me, trust me, when they ask me to do it. But at the end of the day, it is, and it's investing in our future and where we're heading is exciting. So Jeff, I appreciate the opportunity for let me have a small piece. But again, thanks for all y'all do, and I'll turn it back over to Jeff. Thanks.
Ben, we love having you there because, as you taught us, all good football teams really require good linemen, right? That's what Ben has been. And so we really thank him. And then now, Adam.
Thank you, Governor. It is a great privilege to be here this morning. And I just want to start by asking all the leaders from the Committee of 100. I know our chairman is here. Just raise your hand, just a show of hands for those who have been involved across the state. I'll tell a little story. The governor in the transition committee started these conversations, and Ben and Mandy were pushing hard in the transition committee. But it was in the build up to our DC Mardi Gras event that we hold every year when the governor let us know that he wanted to talk about the future of LED at our event. And so we had a lot of build up to get ready for that. But we found out that morning during that session that the intent was not to have some conceptual change to LED down in the distant future, but this legislative session. And so I think we turned around and said, we can meet the speed that you want to execute at. And the members of the Committee of 100 and funders of this organization said, we want to help you achieve the goal, Governor, because it matters for the future of Louisiana. We've pulled together the resources and found the consultants in about a month and a half, and then they finished their work in time for the start of session to bring you those recommendations for Senate Bill 494. The speed at which you did that, I can't say many governors have had fruitful transition committees that turned into legislation that fast, Governor, but it's exciting that you were able to do so when it matters so much. The quote that you were speaking about Louisiana economic numbers couldn't be more dire. Over the last 13 years and in the last 8 years, we went and looked at it two different ways. Louisiana has been the slowest growing state in the South. I've said this a million times during the course of this drafting and this research project, but when you look at the data, there's no more urgent time than now to fix our economic development challenge. And I just want to ask for one more show of hands. Economic developers, local and regional and other partners around the state, just a show of hands who are in the room. If you're in the business of economic development around Louisiana, just show who is here. What you have, Governor, is everybody at the local and regional level pulled together for you for this bill in a nonpartisan way, because every part of Louisiana knows we need to perform better and wants to be a part of your agenda to try to accomplish that. And we will. Because today, as to kind of push the metaphor, Governor, if we've been on defense, today Louisiana goes on offense, and it's exciting to be a part of that for LED. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. And again, it's because of the great team that we've assembled. I want to thank again the Committee of 100 at this time. Certainly would like to bring up Representative Darrell Desautels, who kind of explained a couple of things about the bill and talk about the bill. But what he represents, not only as himself in the district that he represents, and Senator Mizell, who authored the bill on the Senate side, is he represents a legislature that responded. And I think that that's important as well. This legislature, over the last 6 months, because they have been drinking through an absolute fire hose, I know, because I'm right next to them, sharing an additional fire hose. But they have been very responsive. They've listened, they've reacted, they've asked good questions, and they made this happen. So, Representative Desautels.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank my colleague and friend, Senator Mizell, for carrying this bill on the Senate side. She did a wonderful job, and she was really passionate about this bill. I want to thank, obviously, Secretary Bourgeois for her leadership, her refusal to take status quo as the normal for Louisiana. And really, the bill does three things, in my opinion. First, it restructures LED to operate at the speed of business as opposed to the speed of government. And I think that was one of the slides on the presentation. That's important. That's important. To track business, you have to be able to operate at the speed of business. So the second thing I think it does is it releases the department from burdensome bureaucracies that we've seen in our state for so long, which will put us on equal footing of other states. And third, which is very important, it brings the private sector voice to the table by setting a long-term economic development strategy for our state. I think that is extremely important. I started a business 25 years ago from zero, and I've seen the struggles that it takes for small businesses to succeed in Louisiana. And if we would have had if we have more people at the table with sharing those struggles, we can affect change better. I'll tell you, I was trying to think about exactly what I was going to say, and I think the thing I'd like to leave you with the most is that out on the campaign trail and listening to different people, everyone I talk to, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everyone wants some type of change. Everyone. You never hear anybody say, "Oh, everything's perfect. Let's just leave it like it is." Everyone wants change. Well, in my opinion, to affect change, you have to have big ideas and you have to have bold ideas. And I'm so thankful that we have a governor and we have a secretary now that embrace big ideas and big strategies. Because what happens is whenever you do present a big idea, people get scared because people actually are scared of change. But we have to have big ideas to affect change. And I want to thank them for their leadership. And I know we have a lot of other department heads that are thinking the same. So thank you, Governor.
And then finally, in the business world, when businesses out there and looking for to fill key employment roles, sometimes they employ people to go find them for them, and those people are called headhunters, right? And there's a reason, because they're looking for people that know how to hunt people. The economic development team that Adam put together today, what you see on local, they're headhunters too. They're company hunters. And there are people that are aggressive, that want to change the face of their communities and their development districts that they represent. And so it's proud for me to bring up the chief headhunter, business hunter, Susan Bourgeois.
Thank you, Governor. And before I get into the remarks specifically about the bill, I do want to acknowledge another group of folks who are in this room, because this speaks to how Governor Landry is running his administration and running this government. The number of other secretaries and department heads who are in this room to witness this is incredibly important, because economic development is a whole of government approach. This isn't about me being a headhunter. This isn't about the team I'm about to announce doing it on our own. Without all of government doing this, we will never succeed. So thank you to my colleagues in that space. This is a tremendous victory for our state. Senate Bill 494 is one of the most consequential pieces of legislation ever passed as it relates to economic development in Louisiana. It completely reimagines the visioning, planning, and oversight of our economic development efforts. It creates a private sector focused advisory board. And I like the way the governor said it better. It's the job creators who will be leading this vision. It gives LED the freedom to streamline procurement, leverage new technology, and compete at the speed of business. It gives me and future secretaries the flexibility to tailor the agency's leadership structure to better align with that new vision, to better leverage our local economic development partners, and to better support current and prospective businesses for our state. The first sign of the bill's impact can be seen right here with me. And I encourage you all to read the press release and check for their full bios. But I want to introduce you to the new team at the new LED. But before I do, I also want to encourage you to read the biography of retiring Assistant Secretary Brenda Guess. Brenda recently announced her intention to retire July 1st after 37 years of service to LED. Congratulations, Brenda. Brenda exemplifies the kind of dedicated, tireless public servant that every member of this new executive team will aspire to be. So in no particular order, I'd like to introduce you the new LED. Deputy Secretary Ann Villa, Chief Engagement Officer Rachel Shields, Chief Business Development Officer Paige Carter, Chief Innovation Officer Josh Flegg, Chief Economic Competitiveness Officer Ileana Lede, Chief Communications Officer Mark Larondo, Executive Director of LED Fast Start Chelsea Harris Dufresne, Executive Director of Louisiana Entertainment and Legislative Affairs Chris Daly, and Executive Counsel Robin Porter. Welcome to the new LED. Collectively, this team possesses the perfect balance of institutional experience and fresh ideas. They were all successful outside of government before choosing to serve the state this way. Their combined years of private sector, higher education, and economic development organizational leadership far exceeds their time in government. And at LED, perhaps more than any other state agency, this outside perspective is critical. And they're all here for the same two reasons. They love Louisiana and they hate to lose. In the words of my dear friend and highly respected economic developer, Michael Hecht, that's a team I'd go to war with. And Governor, we're going to war. We are going to win for Louisiana. These posters are about what the new LED is about. You saw in the video, and by the way, the hype video is really a lot better when it's loud. So when you go back and you watch it, just crank up the volume a little bit, right? We are positioning Louisiana to win. We will align and we will integrate and we will maximize. Those aren't just consultant buzzwords. That is the new LED. And the truth is we are engaged and we're going to innovate. We're going to do this fundamentally differently. And we're going to ensure all 8 economic development regions of the state thrive. We are going to optimize Louisiana's legacy industries, Bollinger, a great example, to make sure that they lead in the future just as they have in the past. We will drive Louisiana's business ecosystem towards sustained growth, innovation, and as importantly, global impact. Is it aspirational? Absolutely. Can it be achieved quickly? No, but we're going to do it and we're going to win. Thank you all very much.
All right, well, now's a great, exciting part. And look, I'll tell you this. What you see behind us is a team. What you see around this room is a team. Like Susan said, I see the Secretary of DEQ, the state treasurer's here. Who else in the cabinet? Oh, yeah, Taylor, Susie Shaw. Where's Susie? There you are. Susie, you hiding behind you. I want you to know, Susie, I got up this morning and my wife said, now remember, you're going to a press conference with Susan, not Susie. I got it. But and let me just say this lastly, before we sign this bill, I think this is important. So for the citizens that are watching this on social media, for those citizens who are small business owners, who are business owners, this group of people is not out here trying to focus solely on bringing people into the state. What you heard Susan just say is, we're going to focus on the businesses and industries that grew this state. And that's important. This is going to be a collaborative team effort that says, hey, we want to focus on you. And by focusing on you, and the better we get our legacy industries, as she called them, the more organic additional growth will happen. And so I'm telling you that before this year is over, we are going to announce some great opportunities that are going to help build on those particular industries and bring Louisiana into this new industrial South. And so with that, what we'll do is we'll come around, all of y'all, the whole team, and we'll get this bill signed. All right. Yeah. Come down. And Adam, we're going to give the committee at 100 the signing pen and a copy of the bill just for all appreciation. Ben, you'll get the second pen. All right. Let me do this. On behalf of the state of Louisiana, thank you, Committee 100. Ben, for all the trouble I've given you. And you pay good money to do this. And if any of the the economic development directors that are here representing different regions of the state. If y'all want any, we'll make sure that we give y'all a copy of this and also a copy of a pen as well. We thank John. Thank you for coming as well. And with that, we'll open it up to any questions the media may have. That's when you do such a good job. All right, thank y'all.